I'm Jen from House One, and today I'm showing how I built an angled bench for our entryway. We have a wraparound staircase in our entryway that creates an awkward nook where we've had a coat rack for years, but with the kids growing up, they're not quite able to reach the hooks. So I've decided to build a custom bench that follows the angle of the staircase and then install hooks so they can make better use of the space for coats and backpacks. To get started, I first needed to figure out the angle of the staircase. And to do that, I'm using a piece of cardboard and my miter saw. I knew the angle was about 45 degrees, so I set my saw to 45 and then 46 and then 47 degrees and cut a couple pieces of cardboard so that I could test them out in the space. Once I knew my angle, I headed to the workshop to rip a plywood project panel into strips. I cut the bisected angle onto the strips to make two pieces that come together to create my final angle of the seat of the bench. Next, I used a pocket hole jig to create pocket holes at the seam, and then joined the two pieces with glue and screws. It's now time to build the base of the bench, and for that I'm just going to be using vertical pieces of plywood that are faced with a 1x2. I'm leaving the base open because I'll be sliding baskets underneath. And I find that having a bench that's open to the floor makes it easier to wipe the area clean if muddy boots go underneath. With my plywood legs cut to the depth of my bench, I used a jigsaw to notch out the back edge of each leg to allow it to sit against the wall without hitting the baseboard. Using pocket holes, glue, and screws, I attached the three legs to the underside of the bench seat, centering the middle leg on the seam to help support the connection. To further sturdy the legs, I set a 4-inch wide plywood offcut between them and marked it to length. I cut the pieces, drilled pocket holes, and then installed the supports with glue and screws. It was now time to face the plywood edges with 1x2 boards. To do this, I first glued and nailed a piece to the front of each plywood leg, and then to the front edge of the bench seat. After all that work of placing that center leg, it didn't fit the baskets on either side. So I ended up having to move it anyways and used a flat piece of plywood to support the seam. Now the kids' baskets for hats and gloves fit in each opening. It's now time to hang the hooks on the wall, and unfortunately the studs in this space aren't exactly where I was hoping. So I'm going to be first installing a backer board and then installing the hooks to that. Once I screwed the bench to the wall, our awkward nook finally had purpose. I hope you enjoyed this project. For more easy woodworking projects and tool tutorials, visit the House One channel on thisoldhouse.com. I'm Jenn Largesse. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching. This Old House has got a video for just about every home improvement project, so be sure to check out the others. And if you like what you see, click on the subscribe button to make sure that you get our newest videos right in your feed.